Welcome everyone to Saint-Eustache, Quebec for round 7 of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. Us here at the McMurter Sports Update have traveled all the way out to Saint-Eustache. 4.5-hour trip doesn't mean anything to us. Nothing's going to hold us back from this action. It's a quarter of a mile track, very flat, minimal grip. These cars are going to be sliding all race long. Follow along with us, guys. This is your McMurter Sports Update.
They're blending in like robots. After all that we fought for, I cannot give in. Till zero self-destruction. Another lost abduction story for the books. So come enjoy the ride.
Joining me now is racing icon Alex Tagliani, who has been fast throughout 2015 here in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. Alex, first things first, how fast is your car here today?
I mean, it was okay. It was a top 5. I mean, we would like to make it a little bit better. We have been struggling in the last 2 races, but in general, overall, this year has been really good. The 22 racing team and Tagliani Autosport works really well together. So 22 car is doing well. The 18 car has been doing good. Even with 1 race less, we were, I think, 3rd in the owners' points and 8th in the championship drivers' points. So I'm pretty content with the way the season is going. And but you know, like as drivers, we always want to go faster.
You had a dominant performance at Sunset Speedway. We were there for that. Not only going on to win the race, but lapping every car in the field by at least 1 lap. How did that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, like, you know, it's fun. I mean, it's really fun to be part of something special like that was historical, that everybody has done it before. But, you know, like as racers, when we talk to each other, we know that it's a lot of circumstances that are making it possible, right? It's not just me. I think the car was really in the window. It was so in the window that, you know, when we ran 266 laps without caution, it was not falling off, and then everybody else that were falling off, they were struggling because there was no pit stop to come and fix their car. So it was just everything together at the right time. Timing was perfect, and we were able to take advantage also from a non-caution race, but also you know, a track that is so raceable that you could pass inside, outside, middle, and it made it possible to gain all those, you know, all this lap on everybody. But you throw a caution in there, and you know, that moment will have disappeared. So you know, we took advantage, and we capitalized on the fact that the race went caution free for 266 laps, and we made it happen. So it's really good that we finally like got a win on an oval, and we made it like that.
You missed the 2015 season opener at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Has that given you the incentive to maybe gamble with fuel strategy or drive the car a little harder getting into the corners?
I would say that you know, the fact that I'm not there, I'm missing that race, not because I really want to miss it, because I know that after that, when I look at the championship points, it's so difficult to make it up because there's so many points to try to gain, and the competition is really high now in the series. But I'm not there because I'm racing at the 500, so it's for a good reason. But you know, I was watching the race from a distance, and Pierre-Luc did great, you know, in the race. He was running really well. Unfortunately, he had a small incident early on, and then after that, he just drove really well to get it back up to P8 or P9. For us, it's just like now, because we're so, you know, behind, you know, like in the driver championship points, we feel that we're looking at the owner's points, you know, because when you look at the owner's points, it takes the points from their car, and we're sitting 3rd. So that's where I evaluate our season B. We're like a top 3 car so far, and the best thing that we could do is try to maintain that and just create a good, consistent finish for the rest of the year.
That ATV machine has been fast everywhere we've went, expecting no less today, that's for sure. Alex Tagliani, everybody, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you.
Can't believe our eyes can run
Guys, I'm standing here with one of the best Canadian road course racers today, Andrew Ranger. And Andrew, although this is not a road course, you seem to always find your way to the front here in Quebec. What's your strategy for today?
You know what? Today we're on a small track, a little bit bumpy, so it's got to be a lot of challenge today. But I think my car worked really good. We are third in the championship, so my team tonight is trying to save my stuff and to be fast at the end and win some points.
Any particular strategy for the long term, for the remainder of the season, to run down Hathaway and Steckly?
You know what? They've been so fast and consistent this year. So my goal, like I said, I would try to finish my best tonight and try to be in the top 5, you know, and try to work really hard next week at Trois-Rivières. Trois-Rivières, it's a nice road course, and I always did good there. So my goal is finish good and try to win next weekend.
Excellent. You hold the record for the most all-time wins here in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. Is there one win that stands out, maybe head and shoulders better than the rest?
Oh, you know what? Win in Montreal. It's been fun. You know, a lot of memory there. Family, friends, and in front of a big crowd like the Montreal Grand Prix. So yeah, that one, it's one of my best wins ever.
You've raced in the Xfinity Series before, but I believe getting a top 5 finish once or twice. Tell me a little bit about that.
Again in Montreal and the Nationwide, I finished third. I lead a lot of lap with Carl Edwards, and there again, it's a nice place where I did that, and I have a really good car that weekend, and the lead and qualified thing in the top 5 too. So it's been an amazing weekend in 2009 in Montreal.
Well, guys, Andrew Ranger looking for another stellar performance here in 2015 in the Canadian Tire Series at Saint-Eustache. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, guys, joining me now is the 2014 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series champion, LP Dumoulin, who just went out there and qualified 4th at Saint-Eustache. Safe to say the car's fast?
Not bad at all, actually. It's really tight up front. I mean, all those guys are fast. Again, the teams are serious here, and then we did well. I mean, the WeatherTech Benmar car was fast in practice. We did some adjustment, and then back in qualification, we were 4th on the grid to go on track. So sometimes it help a little bit when you're the last out, you know, with all the rubber that goes on track. But anyways, I mean, I think we're very happy with that, and it's going to be a long race tonight.
Let's talk about the grip, actually, of the track. Like you were just saying, it's a quarter-mile oval. It's a very flat racetrack. What's the biggest task, if you will, to outdoing this racetrack? Is it tough on the bottom line?
Well, it's going to be good on bottom line, and then afterwards, if you go second line, then it might be a little tough to hang out, outside. So we will have to manage our race and do some good planification on the strategy to make sure that at the end of the race, we're on the lead lap with a good position for the last few restarts, and try really hard to go get that win.
Are you anticipating anything specific that's going to happen in today's race, such as a late restart or a fuel strategy or anything of those lines?
Well, that's the fun part of it. My crew chief, Mario Goslin, my McMurter Sports team did a really good job in the past doing, fuel strategy and then the pit stop strategy and all that. So, WeatherTech Benmar car has been good last year on all those strategy. This year, we didn't have many pit stop like we're going to have tonight. We're really looking forward to it, and I think we have a very good crew chief and good people that's going to take care of us.
Well, guys, look out for LP Dumoulin and the number 47 WeatherTech.ca Dodge. He's fast today at Saint-Eustache.
I always try to do my best, the things I couldn't do, especially when it came to.
Well, guys, we're still at Autodrome Saint-Eustache, and I'm joined by Scott Steckly, 3-time NASCAR Canadian Tire Series champion, who just went out there and put on a clinic and won the pole. Safe to say the car's fast?
Yeah, the car's real good. My crew does an awesome job week in and week out, and we got our 3rd pole in a row.
The last time we spoke to you was actually at Sunset Speedway, which is round 3 of the 2015 season, and we were touching on how you had a bit of a rough start to the season. After back-to-back victories, yeah, is it safe to say that you figured everything out and everything's fine now?
Yeah, we were good at the start of the year. We just had some bad luck, and now the bad luck's behind us, and things are on a roll, and hopefully we can finish up front again tonight.
You've caught and passed Jason Hathaway to take over the points lead. Is there any strategy to hang on to that as the closing races come up?
We're just going to try to win as many races as we can and let the points fall where they do, and hopefully we'll be on top.
Excellent. Scott Steckly, guys, looking for a win here at Saint-Eustache.
I never thought that nothing to say. I think I'm learning to let go. No point in starting to lose hope. I'm so hopeless. And I know the things that you don't know can't fix the things that you have broke. I'm so hopeless. I remember walking home on those December nights. I remember the bright look in your eyes. You're always stressed to kill. Another stick was spilled. I guess I just was in your thrill. Don't you act like you were never gonna give it up. Don't you act like you-
Well, guys, I'm being joined by the number 99 driver of Marc-Antoine Camarand, who is a rookie in the 2015 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series season. But after back-to-back fifth-place finishes, is it safe to say that you're coming along?
Well, we have a good result out west. I mean, 2-5 finish, and like you said, it's my first time in full-time season on this series, and we're pretty happy with the finish we got in out west, and definitely we want to do a good result here in Saint-Eustache.
You mentioned to me a moment ago that this is the first season where you've raced on any oval courses at all. How much different is it than the road courses that you are used to?
It is much difference. I mean, the strategy is a lot different. I have to be patient. That's the thing. I mean, that's the key. I have to be patient for 250 laps. I'm gonna say the last 50 laps of the race. It's the most important. So you have to be there at the end. So that's the key. It's gonna be the key around Saint-Eustache also.
When and where did you begin racing?
Go-karts, long time ago. I'm 36 years old now. I started to do a go-kart. I was 6 years old, and after that I did a lot of Formula car, and that's my third season in NASCAR. Normally I used to do like only the road course, and that's the first season we got the sponsor, Graphite and Bray Battery involved in the series and in my car also. So I'm glad to do the full season.
How fast is your car today? What can we expect out of you today here at Saint-Eustache?
This morning the first practice was P5, but we didn't put some new tires in. I think we got a good car for a long round. I still to work on my qualifier. You know, I struggle a little bit in Saskatoon. I have to learn about how to qualify. It's only 2 laps, and I think race after race I learn a lot. And I think Saint-Eustache will be good, but we knew that we have a good car for a long round, so it doesn't really matter if we start like 10 or something like that. But definitely we want to do well on qualify and do well during the race too.
Well, guys, Marc-Antoine Camarand still chasing after the 2015 Rookie of the Year award and looking for a solid run here at Saint-Eustache on his way to it. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.
How with the wolves, the kids in the night. It's 100-1, but we'll put up a fight. We're on the street as you're looking for war. Gather your friends and we'll settle the score.
Guys, I'm standing here with Jason Hathaway, driver of the number 3 Chevy, who's had a dominant season, led the points for quite some time. He has 1 win and 4 top 5 finishes thus far this season. Jason, how's the car feel today?
It feels real good. We ended up P3 after practice, and I think we got a good balance set up for the race, and hopefully we can qualify in the top 5, maybe top 10, and get a good starting spot and see what we can do in the end here.
You've had next to a flawless season, like I was mentioning. What exactly do you need to do to run that number 22 team down?
I just do what we're doing, get good finishes, run up front. We got to start leading some laps. So Scott's led a bunch of laps lately and got a bunch of bonus points. So we got to qualify a little better, work on that, and get leading some laps and get some of those bonus points back. So that's okay. We seem to find each other at the end though. So.
Are you anticipating a fuel strategy or a late caution in this race today at Saint-Eustache?
Well, the good thing about today, it's not a brake race, so we do have a bit of strategy going between fuel and tires. So it's gonna, some guys play a little differently, some guys stick together. So it depends. We're gonna get a little aggressive, see if we can't win this thing. So our strategy might be a little different than everybody else's.
Excellent. Look out for the number 3 bunch, guys, today here at Saint-Eustache.
This is Alex Tagliani, driver number 18 in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, and this has been your McMurter Sports Update.